Hi guys, welcome back here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing a couple of tips that I've been using recently that are really helping me to speed up my natural hair growth while I have my protective hairstyle, and maybe they can help you too. That is if you have a protective hairstyle and you really want your natural hair to grow. You know, protective hairstyles can be really good because they help you to keep your hands out of your hair, especially if you're on a natural hair growth journey like me. I just needed a break of my hair. That's why I went and got this hair protective style, and it has been on my head for the past 2 weeks now. Natural hair really needs a whole lot of time of maintenance, and for me, I feel sometimes it helps a lot if you give your natural hair a break and you get a protective hairstyle. Protective hairstyle, they make life much easier. And it doesn't really matter which kind of protective hairstyle you get. It might be braids, cornrows, wigs. Like for me, I just bought a wig and I don't know how they did it and then twisted it in my hair. So this is a weave that was twisted in my hair. It's not a wig, it's a weave. So it doesn't really matter which protective hairstyle you get on your hair. But then for me, whenever I get a protective hairstyle, it doesn't matter what kind of protective hairstyle I put on my head, my scalp itches a lot. It tends to itch a lot more than when I'm having my natural hair. And I'm having this 4C type of hair, and it's really growing because these days I'm putting in so much energy, so much time. Like I'm really caring about my natural hair more than before. So it's really growing. Even when I'm having a protective hairstyle like this, I'm caring about my natural hair because now I'm on a journey. So if you're having a protective hairstyle and you intend to keep it a little bit longer, like 4 to 6 weeks, and you want your hair to keep growing well protected, then you're on my team and this video is for you. My first tip is that whenever I get a protective hairstyle, I always note that the first 2 weeks, sometimes the first 1 week, I see dandruff on top of my hair, especially around my edges. So what I do, I clean my head. So what I do, I go ahead and get a small towel and dip it in water. You don't need so much water. You just need a small towel and put a little bit of water, and then I go ahead and focus on my scalp because this is where I tend to have some build-ups and dandruff, especially around my edges. So I go ahead and do this all over my head. Whenever I clean my head, it is always helping me to remove that dandruff which is always displaying on top of my hair. So that tip is working for me. After that, if you have leave-in, you can go ahead and apply your leave-in in your hair. You can just go ahead and spray it all over your hair, and if you have essential oils, you can add essential oil, and this can be really more convenient if you have an applicator bottle because this one really saves you a lot, and you just go ahead and spray it all over your hair and avoid overdoing it. My favorite is clove water, and I've been using this for a couple of months, and clove water is really good. It helps with hair damage, dandruff. It also helps to activate hair growth. I've been using it quite a lot, and it's really helping me with my edges. Like my edges were all gone, but since I started applying clove water, they are really coming back. So for me, clove water has been my favorite, and also it doesn't have this kind of weird strong smell. Clove water for me has got the best smell so far. It smells really good. Like if you spray it in your hair, you don't feel like that weird smell in your hair. It smells really good, and you don't need to rinse it off. That is one thing I love about clove water. It's the smell. So that is another tip that I'm using for my natural hair growth. I go ahead and apply my clove water, and this is how I use it. So I go ahead and get my clove water and apply it in my hair, especially around my edges, because this clove water has been really helpful for my hair growth and then my scalp itching. So I spray it on my scalp. Like I make sure I spray this all over my head, and I spray and then I massage. So if you are the person with itch scalp, you better get your hands on clove water, and I love the fact that you just spray it in your hair and you don't have to rinse it off. Another tip that I'm using is steaming my hair. Not every day. I don't steam my hair every day, but at least once in a week. Like, it depends how long you're intending to keep your protective hairstyle. That's when you can know when to steam. But for me, I'm steaming once in a week. Steaming does help a lot because it helps your hair to open up the cuticles in your hair, so that anytime you apply anything in your hair, it penetrates deep on your scalp. It doesn't really moisturize your hair, but it removes those buildups in your hair. For my case, my scalp has been really itching ever since I got this hair. But then I realized that I had a lot of dandruff, which has been really itching my scalp. So now I started steaming for like 5 to 10 minutes, letting that moisture go deep into my scalp. So I go ahead and steam my hair for something like 10 to 15 minutes. Like I said, steaming really does help a lot. It helps to open up the hair cuticles, and also it allows that moisture to go deeper into your scalp, which really helps to loosen up the dandruff and some buildups you might have in your hair. So I go ahead and do this all over my head. After steaming, I go ahead and apply my serum, because when your hair cuticles are open, it allows that serum to penetrate deep in your scalp. It doesn't really matter which type of serum you have. For me, I use tea tree oil, and sometimes I use Molokana argan oil. Like, you can use any serum you have. So I go ahead and apply my serum. And for the oil, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this Molokana argan oil. Sometimes I'm using tea tree oil, castor oil, and this oil is very light. You don't have to go ahead and apply a heavy oil, which is gonna cause more clogs and cause more buildups in your hair. So you need a light oil, which is gonna leave your hair moisturized. You can just go ahead and use any oil that you might have, as long as it's a light oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over my hair, and after that I'm gonna go ahead and massage my scalp. And when you're applying this oil, make sure you target your scalp. And those are the tips that I'm using on my protective hairstyle, and they are really helping my natural hair to grow. Try to use the oil that is gonna leave your hair moisturized. That is if you want to keep your protective hairstyle a little bit longer while your natural hair is growing when it's protected. I have had this hairstyle for 2 weeks now, and I'm planning to keep it for something like 4 to 5 weeks. So those are my tips that I'm using apparently, and they are really helping me. They are very simple and so much easier to use, and now I notice my scalp is getting better. Like, the first week I had this hair, I felt like there is no, you know, those white stuffs that gets in the hair, especially if you just plaited. Like, a first 2 weeks to 3 weeks, they can be so annoying, so itching, so embarrassing, and sometimes you feel like you don't want to wash your braids immediately. So they're very annoying. But for me now, ever since I started using these tips, my scalp is okay. And that brings me to the end of the video. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope the video will help you with your protective hairstyle, and I hope to see you in my next video.